The reality of the Colts start is painful this morning, especially when you consider how promising the day was at Lucas Oil Stadium. This is a live look at it right now. Buttoned up for the moment. Perfect day of football Sunday as the Colts opened the season against the Texans. The roof was open. The window was open. The Colts were looking to break a decade-long opening game losing streak. Then the game happened.
Well, that brings us to our friend Heather Lloyd. She is back to share her insights this morning. Heather, it's great to see you, but unfortunately you've got some good and bad to tell us about.
So the bad news is the streak continues. 11 years now. 11 years. This is an NFL record that the Colts just can't seem to shake. The good news is there was plenty to be excited about after week one. What do you do when you're looking to break a 10-game streak of season opening losses? You bring in former Colts wide receiver T.Y. Hilton, the Ghost, who owned the Texans during his 10-year career with the Colts, to bang the anvil, get the crowd fired up. But it was Texans wide receiver Nico Collins who haunted the Colts all day long. Together with Stephon Diggs, who had 2 touchdowns, and running back Joe Mixon, who the Colts defense had no answer for. The Texans still look very much like the playoff team they were last year. And can I just say, 2 of those weapons, Diggs and Mixon, they brought in during free agency this spring. Anyone remember who the Colts brought in this spring during free agency?
No.
Do I need to give you some time to think if we can come back to this?
No, right, that's correct.
I'll give you one, Joe Flacco.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They don't actually want to play this year.
Right.
So I'm just saying maybe next year we bring in some guys we want to play during free agency. Just think about it. Just think about it.
Okay, so we want to try to find some positives out of all of this. The big story, obviously, going into today is we get Anthony Richardson back. Your thoughts?
Hey,
how he looked.
It was everything we anticipated and more, right? I mean, after playing just 4 games last year, Anthony Richardson's rookie season was cut short by surgery on his shoulder. We hadn't seen him since last October, but it didn't take long to remember why watching him was so much fun. Richardson hit wide receiver Alec Pierce with a 60-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter. He hit him again long in the fourth quarter before running in a touchdown on his own. It was a thing of beauty. When I preached patience last Friday, and you know it's going to take him a while to come along, just watch these plays over and over again and say, this is what they lost the game, but this is what our quarterback can do. This is what's going to get us through a lot of moments. If we're going to be picky, you got to get the bread and butter plays that you game plan around. That's what you win games on. But when you can do that, that's hard to defend.
Yeah, back foot 50-yarder while you're slipping.
And he was slipping down, which we will talk about later, by the way.
It really was.
It says here you want me to ask about the defense. Do I have to ask about the defense?
You know, they're not off to a great start. Okay, so the Colts defense did not shine yesterday. It was the lack of experience in the backfield that had fans worried, but it was actually the veterans up front and their inability to stop the run that was their real Achilles heel. They did have 4 sacks on C.J. Stroud, which has been a point of emphasis as of late. But with DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart, the Colts defensive line was stalwart against the run last season, and not so much on Sunday.
Now, and we talked a little bit about this with that unbelievable pass that Richardson had to Pierce, and he slipped a little bit. Turf looks really pretty in the stadium, but I mean, I noticed, and you and I were talking about this, Heather. I mean, C.J. Stroud looked like he was slipping around a little bit. This whole turf thing, is this going to be kind of an issue here?
There was a lot of slipping and sliding out there. The Capital Improvement Board installed new turf at Lucas Oil Stadium this offseason. It's supposed to be softer and have a more grassy feel to it, but it also appears to be very slick as players on both teams were sliding around out there. I don't know if they need to break it in. Is that a thing? Do you have to break in a football field? You know,
it's got that new turf smell.
Or spray it with something sticky.
It looked, baseball glove?
I know. It looked like it had been sprayed with Pam. I mean, they were sliding all over the place. Now remember, they took out the old field. They put in those Olympic swimming pools.
That's right.
I mean, is there water under there? You know, Blue needs to go check it out. What's going on under there?
We may need to send IT mate out there.
There you go. There, exactly.
Well, let's look towards the future, Heather. So, of course, next stop for the Colts, it's going to be that not-so-frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
Hey, thankfully, right? I mean, much better to play in Green Bay in September than December, so the Colts shouldn't be slipping around too much against the Packers. With quarterback Jordan Love hurt, he hurt his knee against the Eagles last week. He's questionable. that could be a real competitive advantage here for the Colts. So we're talking probably Malik Willis, former Titan, who you may remember he's the backup quarterback right now. There was talk about maybe bringing in Ryan Tannehill. That hasn't happened. I would think they would have had to sign him by now. So yeah, I'm thinking that we're going to see a former Titans quarterback.
Interesting.
In Green Bay. And hey, I like that. So.
You join us again next week?
I will tell you how they did. I'm going to predict that the victory jacket makes its first.
Bringing the jacket back.
It makes its first appearance next week. I think the Colts get it done
in
Green Bay without Jordan Love. I think we roll out the victory blazer. I'll be dusting it off this weekend and getting it ready. So.
Sparkly.
Here we go.
Bring your sunglasses.
We're excited about the victory jacket. We'll be in our blue, of course, to cheer the team on.
That's right.